In this video, we're going to learn how to use a microscope when looking at unstained items such as urine sediment. If you do not remember how we got to this part, please go back to the video and you can learn how to process a urine and how to set it up in the slide. When you're using unstained things, it's going to be slightly different. We still start at our 10x objective. We still raise the stage all the way up, and of course we still have the microscope set in such a way that we can look into it. We're going to turn it on, and we're going to turn the light on quite a bit less than we did before. Couple of differences is we're going to take the diaphragm and we're going to turn it all the way out down to the where it's all the way closed, and you're just going to titch it open just a little bit. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take our condenser and we're going to drop the condenser. Dropping the condenser will allow us to look at more translucent things, less opaque things, such as our epithelial cells and our bacteria. Because they're not stained, we don't have a lot to look at. So we drop the condenser, we close the diaphragm. Then when we're looking in, same thing. My right hand is going to be constantly moving the stage. This is really important when you're looking at unstained things, because you have to remember when you're looking at this, you've got a slide with fluid between it. So you're actually going up and down in this layer. It's not just a single layer of cells like a stain slide is. This, you're looking at something that's three-dimensional. So we're going to be slightly moving our stage, and we're going to slowly, with our course objective, I'm using it on my left hand. My right hand is moving the stage. I'm slowly adjusting my focus until I get down to the field, then I'm actually looking at the correct field. Now you want to make sure when you're looking at unstained things that you're not looking at the top of the slide. There will be scratches and scuffs and things on the top of the slide, and a lot of times students will stop because they see something and they think that must be what they're looking for. The clue is keep going until you see cells. You will see tiny little round cells. If there are white cells, you might see those spots that are red cells. You will hopefully see a handful, not a whole lot hopefully, but a handful of squamous epithelial cells. So make sure you go down past the cover slip so you're actually in the layer where you're looking for the cells. Once I'm in this layer looking at the cells, I'm going to look at 10 fields. What that means is I'm going to look at the field, count what I see, move to the next field, count what I see, next field, count what I see, next field, count what I see. And I'm going to do that for 10 times. Now, do you have to count every single field? No, but you're coming up with an estimate based on the ranges. So make sure you look at the sheets where you're doing your urinalysis and see what are my ranges. For example, a lot of ours are occasional, meaning there's less than one per field. Then my next range is 1 to 5. Is there between 1 and 5 in all the fields on average? And then I have 6 to 11. Then I have 12 to 20. So make sure you look at your ranges and you kind of figure out where you fall within the ranges. I don't need to know that there's 12 in 1 and 13 in 1 and 14 in 1 and 18 in 1. That's all going to be in that same range of 11 to 20. So that's what you're going to be doing when you're looking through these. So once you look at your 10 fields, stop. I know they're fun to look at, and so many students get hung up on what if I'm missing something. If you have looked at 10 fields and you have not found something, it's not there in enough numbers to make it important. Now, remember we talked in the last video about the finger cots. In our lab, we use the finger cots to protect our 40Xs from oil. We are not using oil in this situation, so we are using our 40X. So once again, I put something right in the middle of my field that's going to be good to focus on. I got a nice squamous epi right there. I'm going to put it right in the middle of my field, make it perfectly focused, and then I'm going to use my ring and I'm going to switch over to my 40X objective. Now, with my 40X objective, a lot of times you're going to have to raise the light just a little bit. Hopefully your focus, you should just have to just barely touch your fine focus a little bit to get it into focus. So I've got it in focus now. So now at 40X, at 10X, I'm really only looking for squamous epithelial cells and casts. At 40X, I'm going to look for all those other cellular elements. So I'm going to look in and I'm going to see what I see. Now, I already looked at squamous epis, so I don't care about my squamous epis there. And I see a couple of whites and a bunch of reds, and I see a bunch of bacteria in this field. So it looks like about 3 whites and, I don't know, 25-ish, 5, 10, 15, 20, about 25 reds. And then, as I said, many bacteria. My bacteria we do as up to 10 is present and more than 10 is many. There's many in here. Okay, so now I'm going to change fields. That's my first field. My second field, do I agree with my first field? I see 2 whites and I see about 30 reds and a bunch of bacteria. Now I'm going to switch to my next field. In my next field, I see about the same. I'm going to go to my next field. So you're going to do this for 10 fields. So you're going to look at 10 different fields as you're going through. And again, what you see is what you see. Stop after the 10 fields. You do not need to go through 100 fields because you might find something in this. So go through your fields, and when you get to the point where you hit your 10 fields, you're done. You can stop and do your report out. When you are done with your microscope, just like before, we're going to drop our stage down, flip this over to 10x. We're going to put our finger cap back on that 40x to protect it. Turn our light down, power it off. Any questions on how to work with the microscope? Be sure to reach out to your instructor.